my chances are just as good as yours.
You're not even in the same league with me.
Sometimes the very thing that helps you to survive
Wait! I'm signing up.
becomes the thing that holds you back.
You don't think I'm scary.
Insecurity and suffering are the great equalizers.
I could show everybody that Mike Wazowski is something special.
That is a thing that will happen to most people at some point.
And I'm just not.
This movie very boldly says, what if you don't have it? How do you find yourself after that? West Coast, we're coming to California, baby!
Live shows.
Nailed
18th
it.
in Los Angeles, 20th in the Bay Area. A Q&A, live meet and greet, merch.
Link is in the description below.
It will be fun. Hello and welcome to Cinema Therapy. I'm Alan Seawright, a professional filmmaker who needs therapy. Fortunately, that guy is...
A therapist named Jonathan Decker, who also loves movies. What movie are we talking about today?
To clarify, not my therapist, my best friend.
In Your Face, Alan's wife.
I'm sorry, I forgot. Your wife is dead.
I mean, really, my best friend is my dog. He's right here. He's a good boy.
What movie are we talking about?
Monsters University.
Ooh, excellent prequel.
Underappreciated gem. This is one movie that has escaped the prequel trap, which is, who cares? Why am I watching this? Get to the real story.
Well, this is because Pixar actually cares about storytelling, which is why their track record is so high, even with their sequels.
True story.
All right, let's do this. This is, oh my gosh.
Okay, unpack. Check. Hang posters. Check. Now I just need to ace my classes, graduate with honors, and become the greatest scarer ever.
Boy, I wish I had your confidence, Mike.
What an easy move-in day.
Nervous?
Actually, no. I've been waiting for this my whole life.
Reminds me a lot of me in college as well.
To get started.
Yeah.
Man, the design in this movie, the architecture.
It's so much fun. Honestly, my favorite little detail about the university that I love is the giant sewer. That, like, people just go in. And I mean, there's the whole joke about, like, this is my favorite sewer. From Charlie Day.
Of all the sewers on campus, this one has always been my favorite.
This little weird tube monster. It's just like, why is there this giant sewer grate that's easy to open? Because it's a monster university. Monsters go in the sewers sometimes.
Just how we roll. So Mike, as a kid, that field trip, he idolizes and worships the scarers. And he sees how important their job is, and he sees how people respect them. And he says, in his mind, this is what I have to do to matter. This is what I have to do to belong. This is my future. And he marries the idea.
Yeah.
And there's no other path. And to me, this was athletics. If I can be athletic, then the girls will think I'm attractive, the guys will think I'm cool, and I'll finally belong. I couldn't be an athlete. I tried.
Yeah.
But I relate to the loneliness of, this is what everyone around me has decided is worthwhile and admirable and cool. And if you can't do it, sorry, you're a loser. And this takes on different shades when you're not in high school, when you're an adult.
Sure.
But the behavior is still the same. And it's no longer about football, but it's definitely like, how successful are you? How attractive is your spouse? A million things that we say, oh, this gives you value. And they don't.
Well, and to your point, he's built his entire life around this. Randall asks him, aren't you nervous? And he says, no. And his list is insane. It's like, ace all my classes. Well, you've never tried. You don't know. Graduate with honors. Become the greatest scarer ever.
Yeah.
It's like, you've set a pretty high bar for a guy who can't get a buddy to go to the scare floor.
Yeah.
And I get the feeling that didn't change after that day.
No, but I think this is probably a survival mechanism for Mike. To be ignored, to be overlooked, to be bullied and mistreated. He's not going to get confidence from anybody else. He's got to give it to himself.
Got to be internal.
And so it comes from a good place, and frankly, it got him this far. He's at university. But sometimes the very thing that helps you to survive becomes the thing that holds you back. Hey, remember that doctor's appointment you were supposed to make a while ago?
The one you meant to book, but you kind of got sidetracked and completely forgot about it until right now when Jono reminded you.
You know, that one to treat your stinging glow urchin rash?
Or the overdue appointment for burn treatment to deal with Dean's scalding rebuke.
Or that human exposure detox?
They're deadly. Why not book it today?
ZocDoc makes it easy to find the right doctor right here, right now, and it's all online.
You'll probably be able to book an appointment by the end of this ad.
And with ZocDoc, it's easy.
You can find doctors that are right for you and instantly book an appointment.
ZocDoc is a free app and website where you can search and compare high-quality, in-network doctors and click to instantly book an appointment.
Way faster than that slug getting to class. Oh my gosh, that hurt.
You can get hurt doing almost anything.
I need to use ZocDoc now.
They make it so easy to find and book a doctor who's right for you.
We're talking about in-network appointments with more than 100,000 healthcare providers across every specialty, including old man joke-related injuries,
From mental health to dental health.
eye care to skin care, and much more.
And when you're searching for a doctor, you can filter for the ones who take your insurance.
Are located near you.
And who treat basically any condition you're searching for.
You can also see their actual appointment openings.
Choose a time slot that works best for you.
And click to instantly book an appointment.
Plus, ZocDoc appointments happen fast, typically within 24 to 72 hours of booking.
You can even score same-day appointments. Ow. Since I recently injured myself 3 minutes ago filming this ad, I'm gonna use ZocDoc to find and book a good doctor near me. Help.
Stop putting off those doctor's appointments and go to ZocDoc.com/cinematherapy to find and instantly book a top-rated doctor near you.
That's ZocDoc.com/cinematherapy.
ZocDoc.com/cinematherapy.
Sully, any freshman with the guts to pull off a stunt like that?
Thank you, Nathan Fillion. Be in everything, please.
All over him.
Hey, did you see me ride the pig? That took guts.
Slow down, Squirt. This party is for scare students only.
Oh, sorry, killer, but you might want to hang out with someone a little more your speed. They look fun.
Oh, hey there. Want to use my kappa? We have cake.
Is that a joke?
The way they add the balloon pop at the end is like the insult to injury.
So good.
You heard him. This is a party for scare students.
I am a scare student.
I mean, for scare students who actually, have a chance.
Oh, snap!
My chances are just as good as yours.
You're not even in the same league with me.
Just wait, Hotshot. I'm gonna scare circles around you this year.
Oh, okay. I'd like to see that.
Oh, don't worry. You will.
When does confidence become overconfidence?
When you can't back it up, or when it becomes arrogance and a means to put others down. Sully, we later learn, has a lot of pressure on him to live up to the family name. But how he appears at first is just, I've got raw talent and that's all I need. I don't need to work. I don't need to study because I can pull it off.
He's the old money frat bro,
And honestly, no, I relate to Sully because I was like that in high school and college. I was smart enough to goof around a lot and still succeed. And then I hit a wall so hard in graduate school where that shit doesn't fly. And I did not have the skill set of applying myself. It's not something I picked up because I was able to coast by. And Sully, he's going to hit that same wall because his raw talent has gotten him this far. And this tension between the two of them, Sully looks down on Mike. You're not scary. You're a little runt. And he sees him as, you're not even a threat. You're not competition. I don't value you enough to see you as a rival.
Well, and Mike looks down on Sully because Sully's never had to try to do anything. And Mike's had to fight and scrap and bite and claw and scratch to get anything ever. And the fact that he made it on his own steam to Monsters University when Sully skated in on his name alone.
Now, Pixar's going to do what Pixar does best. They're going to take a storytelling trope and they're going to completely turn it on its head. This has all the appearances of a great underdog triumph story where a little guy that everyone says you could never do it proves everybody wrong. And instead, Pixar is going to say, we're going to give you a lesson in real life. It's going to break your spirits, and then it's going to lift you up, because that is how Pixar do.
Larry!
Larry, you can't just... Oh,
Larry! Oh, are you all right? How did...
Larry!
How do Pixar do, Dad?
Mr. Wazowski, I'm a 5-year-old girl on a farm in Kansas afraid of lightning. Which scare do you use?
Shouldn't I go up on...
Which scare do you use?
That is a shadow approach with a crackle holler.
Demonstrate. Stop. Thank you.
But I didn't get to...
I've seen enough.
Oh,
Brutal.
oh man.
Absolutely brutal.
I wasn't finished.
I don't need to know any of that stuff to scare.
That Stuff would have informed you that this particular child is afraid of snakes. So a roar wouldn't make him scream, it would make him cry, alerting his parents, exposing the monster world, destroying life as we know it. And of course, we can't have that. So I'm afraid I cannot...
The camera's rotating around him.
...the scaring program. Good day.
To show that his perspective is changing.
Sullivan.
Well then, I'm sure your family will be very disappointed.
Again, absolutely brilliant writing and perfect delivery of like the most cutting remark you can come up with. I love the character who sees straight to the core of you and destroys you. It's so much fun.
Something that cannot be taught. You're not scary. You will not be continuing in the scaring program.
Please, let me try the simulator. I'll surprise you.
Surprise me? I doubt that very much.
He sees this as his one grasp for self-worth. This was me in high school. Speaking of the movies that I did in high school and college and stuff, is I started doing movies because I wasn't really great at sports. And I started doing what made me happy and what I was passionate about. But for a long time, way longer than I should have, I pursued basketball. Wasn't very good.
Right.
Basketball, basketball, we love basketball. And it's the best game that we play every day.
But I pursued it. Why? Because in my head, that was my ticket. That was my ticket to popularity. That was my ticket to getting a girlfriend. That was my ticket to all sorts of things. And we do this. We tie not just our worth, but our futures to, if I can become this, then I'll matter.
Yeah.
And sometimes we decide this ourselves. Sometimes the people whose approval we're seeking tell us if you can accomplish this. And the healthy version is, who are you and who do you want to be?
Right.
But Mike doesn't have that yet. That's why he's so desperate. Please don't take this from me. You're dooming me to a lifetime of being a loser. What she's actually doing is pointing in the direction of loving himself, of actually loving himself. I don't think that's her motive, but that is what she's doing. And for Sully, his hubris, Achilles' heel. Mike has zero talent. He's compensating by working really hard and studying really hard. Sully has
incredible talent,
so much talent, and doesn't do a damn thing.
Zero work ethic.
And this is the beauty of relationships. Very few people have it all.
Right.
We need each other.
And this is the beauty of great storytelling, is you put two characters facing off against each other that are exact opposites. But if they learn to work together, they'll win everything.
Which we talk about more in our Monsters, Inc. episode, which you can watch right here.
Hey, look at that old feller racking up the big numbers.
Don, that old fella is Earl the Terror Thompson.
What? Where?
He looks like the Lorax, honestly.
Years.
Oh, third door from the end.
Call a killer Claus Benitez.
Look, it's Screaming Bob Gunderson.
And look, it's a trope, but
Me too.
they're bonding over something.
More, but his
technique
technique
is
is flawless.
You collected scare cards, huh?
Yep, 450 of them.
Impressive. I have 6,000 still in mint condition, but 450 is pretty good too.
Hey, look at me. I'm Earl the Terror Thompson.
You can't not win.
Which is great growth, though, because we're going to see he needs to let that go.
Yeah.
I've been a real jerk.
So have I. But it's not too late. We could be a great team. We just need to start working together.
This is one of the reasons why I love accountability. It makes it safe for the other person in the conflict to let their walls down and admit their mistakes too.
Yeah.
When we refuse to take accountability, when we blame shift, minimize, justify, we are bound to get defensiveness back. I see this a lot with parents in family therapy, where they're like, why is my kid so defensive? Why don't they take responsibility for anything? And I'm usually like,
Where do you think they learned that?
yeah, they learned it from watching you, but also the emotion behind it is because you lay everything at their feet. They don't want to be the bad guy of the narrative, so they push back and say, no, it's not me, it's you, and now we're pointing fingers. When you do what Sully does here, when you say, I've been a real jerk, it doesn't always lead to the other person owning their stuff. But if the other person's going to own their stuff, that's how you make it safe for them to do so. And that's how things heal. Especially because at the end of the day, most of the jerk stuff we do comes from a place of fear, comes from a place of insecurity. So when you add vulnerability to accountability, you go from taking ownership so the other person can do the same to now opening up to, here's what was motivating my poor behavior, and it's not an excuse, but this is the need, this is the core need. And now suddenly you've got a situation where you can meet each other's core needs and you're seeing each other, like these two, with fresh eyes and seeing each other as they really are for the first time. These two have been reacting the whole movie to the scared masks that the other person is wearing. Mike hasn't been reacting to Sully, not the real Sully. He's been reacting to how Sully shows up to hide his insecurities. And vice versa.
Yeah.
This is the first time they're really seeing each other, and honestly, this is how we connect with most people. Most people don't suck. They only act in crappy ways.
With most people, you're going to figure out that you both collect scarer cards.
Yeah.
Whatever that scarer card is, you'll find something with almost everybody that's like, oh yeah, me too, okay, and then you get to talking about it.
Here's a good litmus test. Ask somebody if they like Pixar. If the answer is yes, you're bonded. If the answer is no,
that's a bad person.
Yeah, you don't need them in your life.
Guys, they don't even pay us. They probably should.
I'm gonna be a scarer!
Yeah, yes you are.
Hey, you hear that? Get plenty of rest, kiddo. You haven't seen the last of Mike Wazowski. Boo!
How was that a full scare?
I knew I was scary. I didn't know I was that scary.
Yeah, we're so scary, I guess we broke it. Come on.
No.
Awesome. Nice slow camera dolly to frame Sully out and focus on Mike as he's figuring out what's going on.
I don't think you should be messing with that.
Figures out that his friend.
My setting's different.
Mike, we should leave.
Did you do this?
Mike.
Did you do this?
You cheated so I could win.
Yes, I did. But you don't understand.
Why? Why did you do this?
You know, just in case.
In case of what?
Yeah.
You don't think I'm scary.
I don't believe in you, but I do care about you.
Believed in me. But you're just like Hardscrabble. You're just like everyone else.
Look, you'll get better and better.
I'm as scary as you. I'm as scary as anyone.
I just wanted to help.
No. You just wanted to help yourself.
Well, what was I supposed to do? Let the whole team fail because you don't have it?
Oof. Of course, he didn't mean that to be hurtful. He was just stating the facts of the case.
Yeah. So what I love about this is Sully did the wrong thing, but because the writing is so strong, we get to see Sully's perspective on why he did it and how he's not the bad guy. Like a lot of times in a scene like this, there's a good guy and a bad guy.
Yeah.
In every scene, there's the character driving the scene, right? And in this scene, it starts as Mike. It is his scene that Sully is participating in, right? And then at the end, Mike walks out, but we've heard enough about Sully's perspective on it that we stay on Sully, and he's not the bad guy. He's a good guy who did a bad thing. And that's fantastic writing. It gives the characters depth instead of just being like one-dimensional characters. But the other thing that I love about this is it gets to something that I've experienced in real life, and I'm sure you have too. We've all dealt with people that attach their worth to a thing that they can do.
Yeah.
Right? And one thing that has happened to me a lot in the film business is people have attached their worth to their ability as a filmmaker or a writer or an actor or something.
Or success or good reviews or
whatever it is, right? And I've been really lucky to work with a lot of really talented people, and I've also been lucky to get to know people and work with people who are Mike Wazowski. They are not scary. Like, they are trying to be a writer, and they
don't have it.
They don't have it. Like, that doesn't mean they'll never have it, but what it does mean is you're not going to make a living as a writer anytime in the near future. You need a job, and this can be a hobby, and you can keep working on it and maybe get better. But maybe not. And you should definitely not tie your personal self-worth to, I'm a writer, or I'm an actor, because you're not that.
And this reminds me a lot of the journey of Korra in The Legend of Korra, which we have an episode on that you can watch right now on the site right here. But just this notion of Korra compares herself to Aang. Feels like she falls up short instead of focusing on what makes her her and what makes her unique. What's really bold and daring about this story, so many movies, Rudy, Rocky, so many inspiring sports stories like don't let anyone tell you you can't.
Pursue your dream and eventually you'll get there.
Never quit, never give up. And honestly, the people who succeed, it's because they follow that mindset. Yeah. But they also have
some talent.
Some talent to make it happen. This movie very boldly says, what if you don't have it?
Yeah.
How do you find yourself after that?
This is all my fault. I'm sorry.
You were right. They weren't scared of me.
And he's finally realized it.
I did everything right. I wanted it more than anyone. And I thought if I wanted it enough, I could show everybody that Mike Wazowski is something special. And I'm just not.
That's not true. You're very special.
Look, Mike.
He's just defining special wrong.
Don't do that. Please don't do that. You do not know how I feel.
Mike, calm down.
Monsters like you have everything. You don't have to be good. You can mess up over and over again, and the whole world loves you.
Mike.
You'll never know what it's like to fail because you were born a Sullivan.
Yeah, I'm a Sullivan. I'm the Sullivan who flunked every test. The one who got kicked out of the program. The one who was so afraid to let everyone down that I cheated. And I lied. Mike, I'll never know how you feel. But you're not the only failure here.
Ooh.
I act scary, Mike. But most of the time, I'm terrified.
So, fantastic writing, and then give it to John Goodman.
Yeah.
You know? Okay, so first of all, I love that he says, I'll never know how you feel. It's such a bad habit to say, I know how you feel to people. You never know. No. Even if their situation seems identical to yours.
You know approximately a version of how they feel.
So what I like to say to people is, if it were me, I imagine I would feel. And then I say, is that your experience or is it something else? Because I'm showing that I'm reaching and I'm trying to understand, but I'm not assuming that I've got it nailed down. Just because someone isn't suffering the way you're suffering doesn't mean they aren't suffering.
Right.
Sullivan is like the person that you see that is tall and attractive and seems to have everything put together. And those people are often falling apart inside.
Yeah.
Because they're judged for their appearance or they're judged for this, that, and the other as much as anybody else.
In a lot of cases more so. Like, I'm not saying that life isn't easier for people who are attractive and wealthy and come from privilege. What I am saying is that we tend to judge people from backgrounds like that on a different scale.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, if things aren't perfect for you, you clearly up.
Yeah.
And maybe they're just a person.
Yeah.
Maybe they're having a tough time because life's hard sometimes.
And you guys know I love Man's Search for Meaning, companion book, The Choice by Edith Eger. Both of these Holocaust survivors said the same thing, which is that suffering is suffering and it deserves compassion.
Yeah.
And you would think if anyone could say, you don't know anything about suffering, it's a Holocaust survivor. Yeah. But both of them said, sure, it can be worse, but that doesn't mean one disqualifies the other.
Right.
And I love that that's where these two arrive, is this place of, okay, the person that I hated, I was threatened by them, or I didn't respect them, I now see insecurity and suffering are the great equalizers.
And I love how this scene starts, the little soliloquy by Mike when he's looking at himself in the water, realizing that he doesn't have it. He has built his entire identity around this thing and then realizing my entire self-image is wrong. That is a thing that will happen to most people at some point.
When Mike says, I thought if I wanted it bad enough that I could prove to everyone that I was special, and I'm not. It's because he's tied his worth to a specific outcome, and that outcome is not going to happen, that he's failing to see what Sully is growing to see, which is Mike has immense worth.
Yeah.
And he's good at so many things. He's such a value add to any team because of his encyclopedic knowledge.
And his organizational ability and his teaching ability. I mean, he's good at literally everything except being scary.
But his worth isn't determined by being scary. And that's what he needs to let go of. And to me, grieving, mourning, the whole purpose of it is not just to feel sad. It's to honor something, hurt over it, and then release it so you can make room for something else.
Yeah.
And Mike has a wonderful life ahead of him, but he has to make room for it by letting this go.
What's up?
Oh my gosh.
Are you crazy?
The number of like little jump scares and just little horror movie things that they threw into this movie is awesome.
I know everyone sees us together. They think I'm the one running the show, but the truth is, I've been riding your coattails since day one. You made the deal with Hardscrabble. You took a hopeless team and made them champions. All I did was catch a pig.
Technically, I caught the pig.
Exactly. And you think you're just okay? You pulled off the biggest scare this school has ever seen.
That wasn't me.
That was you. You think I could have done that without you? I didn't even bring a pencil on the first day of school. You're not scary. Not even a little. But you are fearless.
That's a great line.
Yeah.
And if Hardscrabble can't see that, then she could just...
I can just... what? Careful, Mr. Sullivan.
Her legs.
We're just warming up.
Ugh.
Sorry.
Well, gentlemen, it seems you made the front page again.
Freshman
You did something together that no one has ever done before. You surprised me.
It's a callback to earlier. Yes, Alan. It's good writing.
Prizes like you in my program. But as far as the two of you are concerned, there is nothing I can do for you now. Except, perhaps, wish you luck. And Mr. Wazowski, keep surprising people.
You know, there is still one way we can work at a scare company. They're always hiring in the mailroom.
And then, of course, they work their way up.
Work their way up during the end credits. It's the whole montage of them becoming
Yeah.
the greatest scarers ever.
What really speaks to me, especially at the beginning, is when Sully says, all these things, we couldn't have done them without you. And I'm going to get personal with you, about you.
Uh-oh.
I had a dream to do what I love, and what I love is watching movies and then geeking out about movies and having long analytical conversations about movies.
Huh.
I also love helping people.
Yeah.
And I had a dream of taking that and somehow delivering that on a mass scale in a way that people related to and loved and connected with. And like, I can't produce a television show.
Mm-hmm.
I can't direct a crew. I can't oversee post-production or pre-production. And I'm not saying it's just you, and we've got Megan, we've got Corinne, we've got a lot of people on our team. But I reached out to you originally because there were things that I could do and there are things that I couldn't do.
Yeah.
And nobody treats this like the Jono show. But anytime I meet somebody and they say, Jono, thank you so much for that message. That was really helpful. And I'm like, you never would have got the message if it wasn't for this guy right here. Never would have happened. Everyone brings unique things to the table in a business, in a family, in friendships. And if you're not great at something and you don't have it, okay, so what? You pivot and you do something else, and what you do bring to the table will do so much good in the world and so much good for your life.
The fact that I get to, spend my time with you and with all of you, and we get to share learning from him. He says it's not the Jono show. It's the Jono show with like a little bit of like sugar on it. Like I'm like cinnamon on the toast. That's all I am. He's the toast.
Maybe on camera, but you're the showrunner of Cinema Therapy.
Cinnamon. Anyway, the point is, I get to do this now, and we all get to share this, and we get to learn so much from you. Doing this show with you and talking about this movie has made me a better person.
Yeah.
And that's pretty freaking great. And that's not what I was supposed to do. That's not what my mission was, my goal in life, my thing. I wasn't, I was supposed to be a scarer. And I'm pushing around a cart full of scare jars.
Yeah.
Just, figure out what your limits are and don't tie your worth to them. So until next time.
Look, you're not scary. Not even a little bit, not at all. But you are fearless.
I can't go back to jail! And watch movies! We want to thank our patrons, people who get extended director's cuts of episodes. This one's pretty long, and exclusive episodes, grab bags, psychological and filmmaking deep dives, all kinds of great stuff over on our Patreon. People with names like these names:
Stetson,
Miria the Gnome,
Krumla,
Anastasia Jurkiewicz,
Marion Martin.
Rah!